darkness and fire in the foam. Laugh, me lads, for we're far from home. Heave away, boys, heave away. Drink your rum till break of day. One for the gold and one for the grave. Heave away, the sea won't save. Hey! There's tar on the rope and the wind in the sail. Half this crew looks bound for jail. Still we sing when the lanterns sway. Drink, me lads, till the light turns grey. Heave away, boys, heave away. Drink your rum till break of day. One for the gold and one for the grave. Heave away, the sea won't save. Take your seats and raise a cheer. Rum and rogues are gathered here. Heave away, boys, heave away. Drink your rum till break of day. One for the gold and one for the grave. Heave away, the sea won't save. Hey!
Good evening. If there's anything bloodthirstier than a werewolf, it's probably a pirate. And the KLRN radio crew is going to play it a little safe. Now, if vampires and their ilk leave you as uncannily cold as old Dracula himself, who was stalked down firmly and, it has to be hoped, permanently in his own family plot last week, then there are figures to prove that you are susceptible to buried treasure. We calculate that no decent law-abiding citizen is immune to pirates. There are cowboys and Indians, there are gangsters and G-men, but these delights are inconsistent, kind of like a short skirt. I don't care how young you are, nothing charms, nothing ingrates, nothing wins like a one-legged, double-barreled buccaneer with earrings, a handkerchief on his head, and a knife in his teeth. What could be more appropriate on the starboard rail of your four-masted brigantine? If you haven't a four-masted brigantine, why not? Instead, you'd have Treasure Island. It's in your library because it's a great English classic, or at least it should be there. And this evening, because it is a great story, it's now on your podcast network, your Twitter feeds, anywhere that you can possibly listen. Once there was a small boy who asked his stepfather, who had written a number of books, please, write something interesting for once. The stepfather, seeing his point immediately, contributed a serial to something repugnant called Young Folks, a periodical circulated among the section of the English nation known as Tiny Tots, who were very prevalent in the 80s, the 1880s. The name of the serial was The Sea Cook by Captain George North, and if the Tiny Tots didn't think it was interesting, well, they should have been boiled in oil. So the story was begun, the stepfather says, on a chill September morning by the cheek of a brisk fire, and the rain drumming on the window. The small boy himself helped a lot, even though Captain North got the credit, and so did a third and equally incurable small boy, the author's father. They drew a map first, a chart of an island showing very queer and wonderful attractions. Spyglass Shoulder, for instance, and Skeleton Island, and the North Cache with a bar silver. And then, on that chill September morning, by the brisk fire of theirs, the three plotters buried their plunder. Doubloons, gold and silver, and rich jewels, and pieces of 8, a fine beer, by the way. That's why the story was finally called Treasure Island. It's foolish to guess who's turned it into a broadcast, but in some way, well, we who are going to retell this story, hopefully devoutly with some liberties, that he who the Samoans laid to rest in the hills of their own faraway Treasure Island, and who is still known out there as only the great teller of tales, would not wish tonight, as he did so unaccountably at first, to suppress the real name of Captain George North. Now, the small boy, of course, should have been decorated. It's a better world because he asked for something interesting. But then he was lucky. There are millions and millions of small boys out there. For this is Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, and it is being brought to you tonight by our dear friends over at Wilmuth Farms.
Good evening, listeners. This is Ernest Wilmuth speaking. Tonight, the KLRN players invite you to set sail on one of the great adventure tales of all time, Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. Some months ago, the growers of Wilmuth Family Turnips went looking for a fine springtime gift to share with all of our friends and neighbors. We found it in this story, first published in 1883, a thrilling tale of buried gold, bold voyages, treachery on the high seas, and the courage it takes to hold steady when the map runs dark. For generations, Treasure Island has stirred the imaginations of young and old alike, carrying readers from quiet hearts to the rolling decks and far-off shores. And tonight, we are proud to bring you this as our springtime offering. This presentation comes to you with our sincere thanks for your kindness and patronage through the seasons gone by, and with the hope that tonight's performance may bring a bit of adventure to your home without any of the inconvenience of mutiny or sea spray. But it's more than that, because whether a man makes his living behind a ship's wheel or behind a plow, he knows the value of wholesome food, steady hands, and a well-stocked table. It used to be thought that turnips were meant only for hearty winter suppers, but really, that isn't so at all. Springtime brings its own appetites, and families like to keep plenty of good roots and turbos on hand for crisp salads, a savory mash, or piping hot dishes ready in a jiffy after a long day's work or play. Why, even the most weathered sailor might be improved by a proper serving of turnips, though we make no promises about his singing voice. There's health and happiness in good turnips, and your grocer has Wilmuth's turnips, all 23 of our delicious varieties, fresh from the fields and fit for every table from Grover's Mill to the Spanish Main. And now for the KLRN Players presentation of Treasure Island, brought to you by Wilmuth Family Turnips. Squire Trelawney, Dr. Livesey, and the rest of the gentlemen having asked me to write down the whole particulars about Treasure Island, from beginning to end, keeping nothing back but the bearings of the island, and that only because treasure is not yet lifted. I take up my pen in the year of grace, 1783, and go back to that time 19 years ago, when my father kept Admiral Benbow Inn, and the brown old seaman with the saber cut first upon his lodging under our roof. I was 14, but I remember him as if it were yesterday.
15 men on the dead man's chest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
Jim! Jim!
Mother
Jim!
called me from upstairs.
Jim!
Yes, Mother.
Jim, there's a man coming up the road. Go out and see what he wants.
Drink and the devil have done for the rest, yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum.
He came plodding to the inn door, his sea chest following behind him on a hand barrow, a tall, strong, heavy, nut-brown man, his tarry pigtail falling over his shoulder on his soiled blue coat, his hands ragged and scarred, with black broken nails and a saber cut across one cheek, a dirty white, livid white, singing that old sea song he sang so often afterwards.
Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rum. You open in there. Now then, boy.
Yes, sir.
What do you call this place?
The Admiral Benbow Inn, sir.
Admiral Benbow, eh? nice, lonely-looking, pleasant, situated grog shop. Folks don't come here much, do they, boy? Not much company?
No, sir. More's the pity.
Well, says you, I for one am a ship's captain, not one for much company. So for me, that will do nicely. No, well, then this will be the berth for me. I am a plain man. Rum and bacon, eggs is all I want. Maybe a mint julep from time to time. And that head up there for to watch ships off. I've a mind to stay here a bit. Here you, matey, with the wheelbarrow. Bring up alongside. Help up my chest. You too, boy. It's heavy.
Yes, sir.
Call me captain, boy. Captain. I am
Yes,
a captain.
Sure.
Just
Captain.
one thing more.
Yes, Captain.
You ain't seen him, have you?
No, sir. Who do you mean?
Along the road, maybe. You might see him somewhere. You can't tell. Let me know if you do. Boy, a seafaring man.
Yes, sir.
With one leg.
Yes, sir.
Captain!
Yes,
Damn it,
Captain.
I'm a captain.
I got it, Captain. Got it. Right.
Bring me a noggin of rum, boy.
And so he came to live under our roof. We never knew his name. We called him the captain. He was a very silent man by custom. All day he hung around the cove or up on the cliffs with a brass telescope, staring out at the sea. All evening he sat in a corner of the parlor next to the fire and drank rum and water, very strong. And every day he came back from his stroll, he would ask the same question.
Jim?
Yes, Captain.
Any seafaring man go by today along that road?
No, Captain.
And Jim?
Yes, Captain.
You're a good boy, Jim. You wouldn't lie to me now, would you, Jim?
No, sir.
You haven't seen him, have you, Jim? There's a silver 4 penny for you on the 1st of every month if you'll keep your weather eye open for a seafaring man with one leg. Remember, the one leg, that's the important part. Let me know the moment you see him, won't you, Jim? A seafaring man, again, with one leg.
How that personage haunted my dreams. On stormy nights when the wind shook the four corners of the house and the surf roared along the cove and up the cliffs, I could see him in 1,000 forms. Now the leg would be cut off at the knee, now at the hip. Now he was a monstrous kind of creature who had never had but one leg, and that in the middle of his body.
You'll keep your weather eye open, won't you, Jim? For a seafaring man with one leg. A seafaring man with one leg.
Months went by. The captain bade fair to ruin us, for he kept it on staying week after week, month after month.
And never a penny of money, Jim. Not a penny has he paid us since the day he came here. And me a poor widow woman.
Mother, why don't you just ask him for some?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Jim. I'm afraid of him. He's got that awful heavy chest. I'm afraid of the man. Now, if your father was alive, I'll tell you.
In all that time, none of us ever saw him open the great sea chest that was in his room. There were nights when he took a deal more rum and water than his head could carry.
15 men on the dead man's chest. Yo, ho, ho, and a bottle of rum.
Often have I heard the house shaking and all the neighbors joining in for dear life.
Drinking the devil of
Devil
the...
and the devil against
Woo!
Can you shut it up?
Turn that
Quiet
shit
in the
off.
tips.
Get off my
I
lawn.
said
Yeah.
quiet.
I have to get up at 4 a.m.
He would force them all to listen to his stories, dreadful stories they were, about hanging and walking the plank, and storms at sea, and the dry Tortugas, and the wild deeds and places on the Spanish Main. By his own account, he must have lived his life among some of the wickedest men God has ever allowed upon the sea. The captain, having been living with us for almost a year, when there occurred the first of many mysterious events that rid us of at last his presence. It was one January morning, very early, a pinching frosty morning. The captain had risen earlier than usual and sat down on the beach with his telescope under his arms. My mother was upstairs, and I was laying the breakfast table against the captain's return, when the parlor door opened and a stranger stepped in.
Sonny, come here, Sonny. Is that my table for my mate Bill?
I don't know you, mate Bill. I'm laying this for a man who stays in the house. We call him the captain.
Well, my mate Bill, you call him the captain like as not. Well, we put it for argument like that your captain's got a cut on one cheek, and we'll put it, if you like, that cheek's the right one, eh? But of course, save me. There he is now. There's my mate Bill. That's him, with his spyglass under his arm, and bless his old heart, to be sure. You and me just get back behind the door, Sonny, and we'll give Bill a little surprise. We will, bless his heart, I says again.
15 men on a dead man's chest. Yo ho ho.
Hello, Bill. Come, Bill. You knows me. You knows that old shipmate, Bill, surely.
Oh God, not this guy again. Black Dog? Really? What the hell?
Oh, yeah, black dog as it ever was, eh, Bill? Bill, we see that sort at times, us too.
So you've run me down. Here I am. Well, speak up. What the hell do you want?
Ha ha ha, that's you, Bill. You're in the right of it, Billy. I'll have a glass of rum for this dear child here. What I've took such a liking to, and we'll sit down, if you please, and talk square, like all shipmates. Sit down, Bill. And you, Sonny, get aft.
Yes, sir.
And none of your keyholes on me, d'ya hear?
For a while, I could hear nothing but low gabbing. Suddenly, the voices began to grow higher.
No, no, no. And an end of it. If it comes to swinging, swing all, say I.
Ah! 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 Ah!
I saw Black Dog, streaming blood running off down the hill. Presently, the captain returned, alone.
Jim, give me some of that rum.
Captain, are you hurt?
I must get away from here. Get away. That's what. I must get away, and I must do so now.
What's happened, Jim? What's happened? You say it's the captain, eh?
It's the captain.
Oh, dearie me, what a disgrace. Can you smell that? Do you smell that? I've been afraid of something like this ever since he came into the house with that old heavy chest of his.
I got the rum and tried to put it down his throat, but his teeth were tightly shut and his jaws were strong as iron. An hour later, our friend Dr. Livesey came.
Doctor, what shall we do? Do you smell that?
Where is he wounded, Doctor?
Wounded? Fiddlesticks end. No more wounded than you or I. This man had a stroke.
Where's that bastard Black Dog?
Black Dog? There's no Black Dog, except what you have on your own back. You've been drinking rum, man, and you've had a stroke. Now, listen to me. 1 glass of rum a day won't kill you, But if you take one, you'll take another, and then you'll die. Die and go to your own place, like the man in the Bible. And the world will be rid of a very dirty scoundrel. Do you understand that? The name of rum for you is death.
About noon the next day, I stopped at the captain's door with some medicines.
Who is it?
It's me, Jim.
Come in, Jim, come in.
He was lying very much as we had left him.
Jim, you're the only one here that's worth anything. You know I always been good to you. Never a month, but I've given you a silver 4 penny for yourself. Now you see, mate, I'm pretty low and deserted by all, Jim. You bring me a noggin of rum, won't you, matey?
But the doctor said...
Doctors? Damn the doctors. Doctors is all swabs. If I don't have a drain of rum, Jim, I'll have the horrors. I seen some of them already. Seen old Flint in the corners there. Behind you as plain as print. I seen him, Jim. I'll give you a golden guinea for a noggin.
When I brought it to him, he seized it greedily and drank it out.
Aye, that's some better sure enough. Now, matey, did that doctor say how long I was to lie here in this old berth?
Why, a week at least.
Thunder, a week? I cannot do that. They've had the black spot on me by then. The lubbers is gone about getting the wind of me. This blessed moment, lubbers is couldn't keep what they got. They want to nail one another's. It's to me old sea chest, Jim. The thing they're after. They'll tip me the black spot. I know it. I was first mate. I was old Flint's first mate, and I'm the only one who knows the place he buried it. He gave it me at Savannah, where he lay a-dying.
Well, what's the black spot, Captain?
A summons from old Flint's crew. A summons, and them as gets it. Jim is lucky when they're dead.
So, a week went by, and then about 3 o'clock of a bitter, foggy, frosty afternoon, I saw someone drawing slowly near along the road. He was plainly blind, for he tapped before him with a stick, and he wore a great green shade over his eyes and nose, and he was hunched, as if with age or weakness, and wore a huge old tattered sea cloak with a hood.
Go on, Christian friends, take pity on a blind mariner who lost his precious sight of his eyes in the gracious defence of his native country, England. And God bless King George. Where or in what port of the country he be now?
You're at the Admiral Benbow Inn, sailor.
Eh? Eh?
Black Hill Cove, sir.
I hear a voice, a young voice. It's here where I miss me dead lights. Will you give me a hand, kind young friend, and lead me into the captain?
I held out my hand, and the horrible, soft-spoken, eyeless creature gripped it in a moment like a vice.
Now, boy, take me to the captain.
Sir, upon my word, I dare not.
You had me. Take me in straight.
Ow!
Will you take me to the captain?
Yes, sir.
Good. And when I'm in view, say to him, is your friend to you, Bill Bones? If you don't, I'll twist your arm right off your body. Do you hear?
Yes, sir. Ow!
It's your pattern, I damn you. Now march forward.
Here's a friend for you, Bill Bones.
Now, Bill, sit where you are. Business is business, and hold out your left hand, Bill. Boy, take his left hand by the wrist and bring it near to my right. Here's a little bit of paper for you, Bill Bones. Now that's done, I'll be going. Goodbye, Bill. Goodbye.
Jim?
Yes, Captain.
What time is it, Jim?
10 o'clock.
10 of the clock. 10 o'clock. 6 hours. We'll deader 'em yet. Pew and Black Dog and Long John Silver, the whole crew of 'em. We'll...
Captain? Captain? Captain! Captain!
I'm dead, Jim.
Captain was dead. And there we were, my mother and I, a woman and a boy of 14, alone at night in the house with the dead captain's body on the parlor floor.
He owes his money, he does. A whole year, never a penny from him. And me, a poor widow. And you smell that, right? You do, you smell that.
I smell it. But Mother, if Black Dog comes back, or the blind man...
Oh, Black Dog fiddlesticks. There's something in that old chest of his upstairs that's rightfully mine. And we'll have that chest open if we die for it.
Mother?
Close the blinds, Jim. We don't want anybody watching us from the outside.
We have to get the key off. Look, Mother, look!
On the floor, close to the dead man's hand, there was a little round of paper, blackened on one side.
The black spot!
I took it up and found that
You have till 10 tonight. That's 4 hours.
No, Jim, find that key.
I felt in his pockets one after another.
Perhaps it's round his neck. Tear open his shirt. Yeah, go ahead, tear open his shirt.
There, sure enough, hanging by a tarry string, we found the key. Then my mother got a candle in the bar. And holding each other's hands, we went upstairs to his room.
Give me the key, Jim. Now then. Nothing in here. Not a damn thing. Not one single thing of value, not a penny.
Mother, look!
There before us lay the last things in the chest. A bundle, tied up in oilcloth, looking like papers, and a canvas bag that gave forth at the touch with a jingle of gold.
Do you see him, Jim? I knew he'd find it, but I'll show these rogues that I'm an honest woman, or have me do, and not a farthing more. Here, Jim, hold this bag.
The coins were of all countries and sizes, doubloons and louis d'or, and guineas and pieces of 8.
Mother!
What is it, Jim?
Mother, listen! Come, Mother. Mother, take the whole, and let's be gone.
No, I'll have me do, Jim, and no more.
But, Mother, you heard him. That was the blind man.
I know what I'm doing. I know me rights.
But, Mother, you don't know.
Oh, dear. I'll take what I have.
And I'll take these papers. Quick, Mother, quick! Take my hand.
Next moment, we had opened the door and were in full retreat towards the village.
Look, Jim, over the hill. There they come.
Run, Mother! Mother, run!
Oh, Jim, I'm going to faint. I'm old now, Jim. Hold on. Oh, Jim, take the money and go
Mother!
on.
Mother!
She had fainted. I managed somehow to drag her down the bank into the shadows of the ditch. A moment later, the house was surrounded.
Bones. Bones. Bill Bones. Ye answer me. Down with the door then.
Aye, Captain.
In, ye lubbers. Loot the house and find it.
Bill's dead!
Hey, Pew. Bill's dead.
Fetch him. ye shrieking lobbers, and the rest of ye, aloft and get that chest.
I want the rum.
It was a good thing my mother had fainted, or she would have had to have watched with me while our poor house was pulled apart and smashed. Whatever it was they were after, they did not find it.
Well, is it there?
The money's there.
Jim, what is it? What are they after?
The map, Mother. Flint's map.
Ah, shit.
Hey, Pew, there's the signal.
Scatty me, lads!
Hold on, ye snakes, it's in the house. You know it. Shiver me so if it had me eyes.
The signal, Pew. The signal. The
Ye
plane.
Ye had your hands on hundreds, on thousands. Are you giving up now? You'd be as rich as kings if you'd find it. You'd know it's there. You stand there skulking. There wasn't one of your dread-faced Bill, and I did it, a blind man. I'm here to lose me chance for you, to be a poor crawling beggar sponging for rum when I might be rolling in a couch if you had a plug of a Weevil sea biscuit among the lot of ye.
That's the last signal.
Dick, Black Dog, Johnny, Dick. You won't leave old Pew, mates. Not old Pew. Johnny, Black Dog, don't leave old Pew. Don't.
Sorry, mate. You're in
And they
there.
When they picked him up, he lay there on the road on his side. Pew was stone dead. The horsemen, as it turned out, were revenue officers, and some news of a strange lugger in Kit Hole they had set forth that night in our direction. They took my mother to a neighbor's house. Well, Hawkins, they got the money, you say? Well, what in fortune were they after? More money, I suppose.
No, Sergeant, not money. I think, in fact, sir, I believe I have the thing in my breast pocket. And to tell you the truth, I should like to put it in safety.
To be sure, boy, quite right. I'll take it.
I thought perhaps Dr. Livesey?
What? Oh, yes, Dr. Livesey. Perfect right. A gentleman and a magistrate, Dodger.
Yes, sir.
You have a good horse. Take this lad up behind you.
Yes, sir.
And we rode hard all the way back until we came to Dr. Livesey's door.
Dr. Livesey? The doctor's supping tonight at Squire's.
The squire? Oh, there we go, boy.
We arrived at the Squire's. He rose to meet us, very stately and condescending.
Come in, gentlemen.
Good evening, Squire. Good evening, Dr. Livesey.
Good evening to your friend Jim. What good wind brings you here?
Then the officer stood straight and stiff and told his story.
Sergeant, you're a very noble fellow, and this lad Hawkins is a trump. Donald J? Or that? No, never mind. I perceive. Hawkins, ring that bell. The sergeant must have some ale. There you
Hotel
go.
business great again. And so, Jim, you have that thing they were after, have you?
Here it is, sir.
You've heard of this Captain Flint, I suppose, Squire?
Heard of him? Heard of him, you say? He was the bloodthirstiest buccaneer that sailed. Blackbeard was a child to Flint. The Spaniards were so prodigiously afraid of him that I tell you, sir, I was sometimes proud he was an Englishman.
What interests me is, has he money?
Money? What are the villains after but money?
That we will soon know. What I want to know is this. Suppose we have here in my pocket some clue where Flint buried his treasure. Will that treasure amount to much?
Amount, sir? It will amount to this. If we have the clue you talk about, I'll fit it out to ship in Bristol Dock and take you and Hawkins here along, and I'll have that treasure if I search a year.
Very well. Now, if Jim is agreeable, we'll open the packet. A map of an island with latitude and longitude. Writing. Tall tree, spyglass shoulder. Bearing a point to the north of northeast. Skeleton Island, southeast by east, 10 feet. The bar of silver is in the northern cache.
Livesy, you'll give up this wretched practice at once. Tomorrow I start for Bristol. In 3 weeks' time, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 10 days, we'll have the best ship, sir, and the choicest crew in England. Hawkins shall come as a cabin boy. You, Livesy, as ship's doctor. I am Admiral.
I'll go with you, Squire. So will Jim, and he'll be a credit to the undertaking. There's only one man I'm afraid of, though.
Well, who's that? Name the dog, sir.
Well, you, sir, for you cannot hold your tongue.
In a few moments, we shall be bound for Treasure Island with Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, and of course, Jim Hawkins. We pause now for some awesome KLRN radio players commercials and the song. We will be back live with the play in about 7 minutes. This is KLRN Radio.
Hello, friends. Big Dick Dickens here. I want to thank you for tuning in to this very special production of Treasure Island by the KLRN Players. We here at Dickens Cider are proud to be a sponsor of tonight's production. So when you and your favorite wench check into the Admiral Benbow Inn, or wherever the hell it is you're planning to stay, don't be bashful about asking the captain for a real treasure for her, a Dickens Cider. Your wench is gonna love the taste and the feeling of the new Long John Silver edition of Dickens Cider as it goes down. It's guaranteed to wet her whistle and shiver her timbers. And remember, friends, it's not X that marks the spot for that Dickens Cider, it's Y. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
When life grows difficult, the wise turn to Old Domershire Reserve, made in the rolling green hills of Domershire and aged to a state of almost suspicious serenity. Old Domershire Reserve is the cheese known across the realm for its rich flavor, mellow finish, and remarkable ability to make even the most urgent concerns feel negotiable. Whether at table by the fire or aboard a ship with nowhere pressing to be, Old Domershire Reserve brings comfort to troubled souls and a certain mellow ease to the voyage. 1 bite, and the day improves. 2 bites, and your trouble seems further away. 3 bites, and you may find yourself smiling at a chair for no particular reason. Older, uncommonly smooth, questionably soothing, and best enjoyed when there's absolutely nothing important left to do.
Black sea calls my name through the salt and the rain. I feel the pull again. The black sea calls my name. The dark rolls through my veins like fire without flame. I know I won't turn back. The black sea calls my name. Move on the mast, wind in the lines is singing. Nothing here ever lasts. Faces glow in the half light. rum on the breath and tongue. Somebody laughs too softly, like they know what will become. The table shaking, golden moonlight fever. Every man wears a smile, every smile hides a cleaver. Footsteps crossing the midnight, one hand close to a blade. No one says what they're thinking, still the wager has been made. The black sea calls my name, through the salt and the rain. I feel the pull again. The black sea calls my name. The dark rolls through my veins, like fire without flame. I know I won't turn back. The black sea calls my name. No prize can cure the hunger, no chest can settle the heart. One takes the soul in pieces and tears the will apart. Still when the sky goes violent, still when the deck turns wild, something beyond the horizon calls to the beast inside. The black sea calls my name, through the salt and rain. I feel the pull again. The black sea calls my name. The dark rolls through my veins, like fire without flame. I know I won't turn back. The black sea calls my name. Black sea call my name. Black sea call my name. I hear you in the wind. I feel you rise again. Black sea call my name. Black sea call my name. No shore can quiet this. No shore can make me change.
Tonight, KLRN players are presenting you Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. As Jim Hawkins was telling us, we are eager to leave the Benbow Inn behind and set out for the docks in Bristol.
It was longer than the squire imagined ere we were ready for the sea. Weeks passed on. Then, one fine day, there came a letter from the squire, from Bristol.
Dear Livesey, the ship is bought and fitted. She lies at anchor, ready for sea. It was the crew that delayed me till the most remarkable stroke of fortune brought me the very man that I required. I was standing on the dock when, by the merest accident, I fell in talk with him. He had hobbled down there that morning with a parrot on his shoulder to get a smell of salt. Yes, salt. Out of pure pity, I engaged him on the spot to be ship's cook. Long John Silver, he is called, and has lost a leg, but makes very good crunchies and perhaps a chicken plank. Well, sir, I thought I only found a cook, but it was a crew I'd discovered. Between Silver and myself, we got together in a few days a company of the toughest old salts imaginable. I declare we could fight a frigate. Seaward ho, hang the treasure, it's the glory of the sea that has turned my head.
On the 16th of April, the schooner Hispaniola set sail from Bristol Harbor. It was more than 19 years ago, but I can remember it as if it was yesterday.
Me in my new blue cabin boy's clothes.
19 years ago.
Leaning over the rail, waving goodbye to my mother, and doing my best not to cry, for at the last moment, it sort of hurt to leave her. It was the first time I'd been away from home. Then, a little before noon, Captain Smollett gave an order. The boatswain sounded his pipe. And the crew began to man the capstan bars. Soon the anchor was shored up. Soon it was hanging dripping at the bows. Soon the sail began to draw, and the land of the ship by the slip on either side. The Hispaniola had begun her voyage to the Isle of Treasure. On the second day out, I made the acquaintance of our one-legged ship cook, Long John Silver.
Hey there, boy. Come on in. Come on into Long John's galley.
To tell you the truth, at the very first mention of Long John Silver in the squire's letter, I had taken a fear in my mind that this might be the very one-legged sailor that I had watched all those months at the Benbow Inn. But one look at him was enough. I'd seen Captain Bones, Black Dog, Lime Pew, and I knew what a buccaneer looked like. Very different from this clean, pleasant-looking sea cook. His left leg was cut off, close to his hip, and under his left shoulder he carried a crutch, which he managed wonderfully, hopping about like a bird.
Pieces of eight, pieces of eight, pieces of eight.
Are you Mr. Silver, sir?
Yes. Yes, me lad, such is me name to be sure. And you're Hawkins, eh? Nobody more welcome than yourself, me lad, in old John's galley. So sit down, hear the news. Your first trip to sea, Hawkins.
Yes, sir.
Well, there's a lot of things you're going to learn before this here voyage is over. What do you think, Hawkins? And if there's anything you want to know, Hawkins, you just come to old Long John Silver and ask him, see, he'll tell you.
His galley was as clean as a new pin, the dishes hanging up burnished, and his parrot in the cage in the corner.
Is Captain Flint. I call my parrot Captain Flint. Yeah, the parrot after the famous buccaneer. Is Captain Flint predicting success to our voyage? Wasn't you, Captain?
Pieces of eight, pieces of eight.
Aye, she's a powerful old bird, is Captain Flint. 200 years old if she's a day. And if anybody's seen more wickedness, it must be the devil himself. She sailed with England, the great Captain England, the pirate, on the old Walrus. That's Flint's old ship. And I've seen her muck with the red blood and fit to sink with gold. She's been to Madagascar and at Malabar and Suriname and Providence and Portobello. To look at her, you'd think she was a baby, Hawkins, but you smelt powder, haven't you, Captain?
Step, go about, step out and go about.
And blood, eh, Captain?
Ships, the all hands,
And pieces of eight, eh, Captain?
Pieces of eight, pieces of eight, pieces of eight, pieces of eight, pieces of eight.
And at the end of the third week, we left Madeira behind us. The ship proved to be a good ship. The crew seemed to be capable seamen. There was only one man aboard who was not satisfied, and that was the ship's master, Captain Smollett.
I'll speak plain. I don't like it. I don't like this cruise. I don't like the men. I don't like me officers. That's short and sweet.
But nobody paid much attention to him. Every man on board seemed well content. Double grog was served at the least excuse. There was duff on odd days, and always a barrel of apples standing broached in the waist for anyone to help himself that had a fancy.
Never no good come of it yet. Spoil forecastle hands, make devils. That's the belief. We're not home again yet.
But good did come from that apple barrel. It was about the last day of our outward voyage. Sometime that night, or at least before noon of the morrow, we should sight Treasure Island. Just after sundown, when all my work was over, I thought I should like an apple. I ran on deck. The watch was all full forward, looking for the island. I got into the apple barrel, and suddenly I heard voices on deck.
Grumble, grumble.
Look out, barbecue. How long are we going to stand off in like a blessed bumboat? Boss Thunder, I want to go into that cabin. I do. I really do. I want the pickles and wine and cheese and all that.
How long? By the powers, last moment I can manage, and that's how long. How many tall ships, think you, have I seen laid aboard? How many brisk lads dying in the sun at execution dock? And all this for the same hurry and hurry and hurry. He's a first-rate seaman. Captain Smollett sails the blessed ship for us.
Yar, we're all seamen aboard here, I should think, or...
All forecastle ends. You mean, I know the sort you are. You're never happy till you're drunk.
Easy all along, John.
I don't know where this treasure is, do I? No more than you, says you, and is this squire and doctor with a map and such. Well, now I mean this squire and doctor shall find the treasure for us and help us to get it aboard by the powers. After that...
Yar, after that, what do we do with them, Long John Silver? After that, what do we do?
Well, what would you think we does with them? Put them ashore like maroons? Or cut them down like that much pork? Duty is duty, mates. Wait. Here's what I says. When the time comes, why, let her rip.
Land ho!
What's that?
What's that?
Land ho!
Circle K ho!
Oh, we're so here.
Away to the southwest of us, we saw it, Treasure Island. 10 minutes later, we were gathered in the cabin, the squire, Dr. Livesey, the captain, and myself.
Now, Hawkins, you have something to say. Speak up.
I did as I was bid. I told them the whole story of Silver's conversation, and when that was done, all three, one after another, each with a bow, drank my good health. Then the squire rose.
Jussie, Captain Smollett, you were right and I was wrong. I own myself an ass. I await your orders, sir.
This Silver is a remarkable man.
Here's the way I see it. We must go on because we can't turn back. Now, what I propose is that we don't wait for them to surprise us, but that we come to blows at our own time and when they least expect it. There must be some faithful hands left. Well, we must find out who they are.
Oh, Jim can probably help us more than anyone else. The men are not shy with him, and Jim is a noticing lad.
Hawkins, I put prodigious faith in you.
In the meantime, talk as we pleased, there were only 7 out of 26 on whom we could rely. And of these 7 men, I was a boy. So that the grown men on our side were 6 to their 19. Next morning, there was not a breath of air moving, nor sound, but that of the surf booming half a mile away along the beaches. A peculiar, stagnant smell hung over the anchorage. The heat was sweltering, and the men grumbled fiercely over their work. Mutiny, it was plain, hung over us like a thundercloud. Around noon, Captain Smollett came up on deck.
All right, my lads. We've had a hot day, and we're all tired now. A quick turn to shores what it'll hurt no one. So you can take the gigs, and as many as please they go ashore for the afternoon.
Yay! Lennox answered with his life.
Norway!
Hey, wait a bit, man. What's the hurry?
John Silver suspected a trick. He hopped around the deck on his one leg.
What's the hurry, I say? Wait a bit, will you, men?
Soon, the party was organized. 6 fellows were to stay on board and 13, including Silver, began to embark. Suddenly, I had a mad notion to go ashore too. In a jiffy, I had slipped over the side and crawled up in the foresheets of the nearest boat. No one took notice of me. The crews raced for the beach. No sooner had we touched the shore than I leaped out and plunged into the nearest thicket. Behind me, I could hear John Silver's voice.
Hey, Jim, me boy, Jim, wait up, Jim.
John Silver was quick at his work. 2 faithful members of the crew were murdered on the island that afternoon, only an hour after we landed.
Ah!
The second killing I saw with my own eyes, from where I lay hidden among the trees.
Will you tell me you'll let me be yourself led away with that kind of a mess of swabs?
Sure as God sees me, I'd sooner lose me hand than turn again me duty.
Mate, it's because I think's gold dust of you. Gold dust.
John Silver, you're a mate of mine no more. If I die like a dog, I die in me duty. You've killed Alan, have you? Kill me too if you can, but I defies you.
He started to walk away.
Try this, then.
Long John whipped the crutch out of his armpit and sent it hurling through the air.
Ah! I'm melting! Oh, wait, wrong play.
Last play. It struck him in the back and killed him. Then Silver brought out a whistle. It didn't wait. So I ran. I ran as I'd never run before.
Darby McGraw.
I looked up at the side of the hill.
Woohoo!
Far above me, I saw something leap behind the trunk of a tree. It seemed dark and shaggy. I turned and began to run. Suddenly, the thing appeared in front of me, and running forward, threw itself on its knees before me and held out its clasped hands in supplication.
Whoa!
Who are you?
I'm poor Ben Gunn, I am. I haven't spoke with a Christian these 3 years.
3 years? Were you shipwrecked?
No, mate, marooned. 3 years. Lived on goats since then, and berries, and oysters. Oh, take a look down south, you can see what a mate that had on me. And me heart is sore for the Christian diet. You mustn't happen to have a piece of cheese on you now. No? Well, many's the night I've dreamed of cheese. Toasted mostly. And woke up again, and here I was. What do you call yourself, mate?
Jim.
Jim? Jim. Well, no, Jim. You wouldn't think I was as rich and looking me now, would you?
Why, no. Not in particular.
Ha! Well, but I am, Jim. I'm rich. Rich. Powerful rich. Oh, Jim, you'll bless your stars, you will. You was the first that found me. Woohoo!
Suddenly, his eyes fell on the Hispaniola laying far below us. Between it and the land was the jolly boat, with 5 men moving toward shore. But I could not tell if they were our men or the mutineers.
Jim, tell me true. That isn't Flint's ship, is it?
It's not Flint's ship, and Flint is dead. There's some of Flint's hands aboard. Worse luck for the rest of us.
Not a man with one leg?
Silver?
Hoo-hoo. But if you were sunk by Long John, hoo-hoo, I'm as good as pork, I know it. I was in Flint's ship with John Silver. The way old Flint buried his treasure. He and 6 along, 6 strong seamen. And I was ashore nigh on a week. And then one day, here comes Flint, by himself, in a little boat. And the 6 all dead and buried, along with the treasure. How he done it, not a man of us could make out.
I told him the purpose of our voyage, and the predicament in which we now found ourselves.
Oh, that Long John, he's a bad un. Then you're all in a clovitch, aren't you? Well, Gun's a man to help you. You tell your squire, Jim, Ben Gun's the man, and that's what you'll say. And Ben Gunn says that you has ideas of his own. Woo, look at that.
Far below us, we saw a Union Jack fluttering in the air above the woods.
Why, there's your friend, sure enough.
More likely, it's the mutineers.
No, mate. Sylvan Fly the Jolly Roger, that's your friend, sure enough. A shot in the old stockade made years ago by Flint. Whoa, what was that?
That's the ship's cannon. They're shooting at the stockade. Come on!
All right. Wait a minute, Jim. Wait. Ben Gunn's fly. Rum wouldn't bring me down there. But remember, Jim, Ben Gunn's the man to help you. And when Ben Gunn is wanted, you knows where to find him. So just where you found him today.
I started to run towards the flag.
Hey, Jim.
Yes, sir?
You won't forget that piece of cheese now, will you, mate?
It was less than a mile of the stockade. It was heavy running through the woods. The shooting was getting louder. Suddenly, before me, I saw a clearing and the smoke of muskets fired nearby. Hey there!
Who goes there?
Hey, don't shoot, it's me!
Who's me?
Me, Jim Hawkins!
It's Jim. Jim's back. He's safe. Hooray!
Huzzah!
Moments later, I was over the stockade among my friends, and soon afterwards, the firing ceased. The mutineers were saving their powder. The stockade was a good place, with a paling 6 feet high all around it. We could have held it against a regiment, and here Captain Smollett decided to stay and await our enemy's next move. I told Dr. Livesey and the squire about Ben Gunn.
Aye, flag a truce, flag a truce.
Who's that?
It's Silver. Keep indoors, men. 10 to 1 this